Well, good morning and welcome to my garden in January 2017. Last night on Facebook I asked the question, any suggestions for a garden video, and I'll make it the next day. And I got quite a lot of comments and suggestions, so I'm going to go through those suggestions now and show you around the garden. So the main one was a general overview of the garden, which was suggested by Stephanie and a few others. Carl wanted to look at the conifers, so there you are, Carl. There's 150 foot of conifers down there, and a few above the bamboos over there. Other suggestions were what do the onsetes and moose look like by Ralph, what the trachycarpus look like, different species, was asked by Stephen. And Don wanted to look at the Dicksonia tree ferns. So let's just have a general walk around the garden and show those things. Just so you know, it's -1 at the moment, so it's a pretty cold morning, colder than what we've had for quite a while. It looks really nice frost on this Trachycarpus nova, which is fine. And this Trithanax here looks a bit unhappy, but I'm sure that'll be fine down there. So let's go around the rest of the garden. I've got the Yucca gloriosa variegator here, the Butia eriaspatha, and the Pseudopanax there as well, which are unfazed by the cold at the moment. Oh, Stephanie wanted to see no weeds, so there you are, nice vegetable patch with no weeds in. Let's go down to the greenhouse, I'll show you what's in there. That's where my onsetes are. So in here, I've got my gingers. I've also got lots of onsete Heniba bananas growing away in here. And over the back there, and then my onsetes, I can just go through and just, they're stacked up here in the greenhouse. Nothing, see at the bottom there, they're not in pots or anything, it's cut off all the roots basically, and they're just left dry over winter in here. And this greenhouse is kept above 8 degrees. It's set to be about 10 degrees at one end, but obviously at the other end it'd be quite a lot cooler, just because a fan on the heater, which is only very small. I'll just show you it, just down there, so it'd be about 8 to 10 degrees in here. All my arids, agaves, etc., succulents are all under the bench. Other bananas, I've got I've been eating quite a bit actually. This is the Thai Black Musa here, and there's a couple more of them in here as well. There's been pests eating everything. There's been some caterpillars which I need to deal with. They've been eating the Brugmansias and the begonias, and actually going at the aeoniums as well, so I need to sort them out. So let's just go back outside. Yeah, it's frosty grass this morning. We've got the tree ferns there, the Dicksonias, frosted over. You can see where the frost is on it, it's browned. We had -5 back at the end of December. The more vertical leaves are still green, where the frost hasn't really caught them. And at the back there's a fully green Dicksonia Antarctica tree fern behind that polycarpa there, well protected. Let's go around and have a look at the Trachycarpus. So the most tender one is under here. So that's a Marchianus, which is totally fine at the moment. Tachiel's fine. This isn't the nicest looking one at the moment. This is a Princeps hybrid. Beautiful leaves on that. Even got Ionium just about hanging on. Gemini Sectus there. Fortunae. And that is a Latisectus, which is showing some damage to the oldest leaves, but the centre looks fine at the moment. That's in this shelter to keep off the rain and the snow. And that's the Trachycarpus nanus, which is fine. So let's go out over the bridge. As you can see, it's very slippery, very icy. There's a nice Yucca gloriosa there. And these beds have been completely cleared. There's nothing in there that you can see, but there's loads of plants under the ground. There's gingers, and there's lots and lots of colocasias. All the pink chinas are all in there. So that Trachycarpus fortunae there as well. If you look, because it's cold, you can see how this Euphorbia mellifera has all drooped. It doesn't look happy. As soon as the sun warms it up, that will return to its former shape and be fine. In this bed we've got the Ulcrahensis Trachycarpus, which is completely frozen. Beautiful white on the undersides of that as well now. And that's about 10 years old, that plant. And then you've got the big Jabea, which about 6 foot tall. Got this shelter over the top, that's to stop snow and ice really penetrating into the top of the plant, which hasn't been a problem because we've not had any snow really, apart from a few hours back in November. Again, this bed, put to bed, all the plants are just as the roots and the rhizomes under the ground. Colocasias, cannas, dahlias, Amicia there. That's a Jabea again. And under here we've got the aloes, which are totally fine. They've gone this colour, so it's 2 shades of green where some cells are frozen and the water's come out of some of the cells. But they'll be fine once they defrost. And we've got the Princeps, true Princeps under there. Pure white underneath. And that's the Chemarops cerifera. It's a nice icy blue today, highlighted by the frost. Ooh, completely frozen in the ground. That's a Polyphila, looking okay so far. And another Princeps there as well. Just use these little shelters to keep the worst of the rain off them, but still provide good airflow. This bed is uncovered pretty much here. Desilirion, Longicium, Yucca Faxiona. Another Chemarops here. Looks beautiful in sunlight. Then we'll go around to the arid bed. It's got the yuccas, we've got the agaves, that's Montana there. Then we've got a Americana pup. That's a bigger agave Americana. It's quite a nice form, that one. It's quite blue. A bit more like Franzoniae. Lots and lots of pups around that one. Got cacti in there too. Got a larger montana there. And the yuccas here, Yucca strata's unprotected. That's doing fine. Now this bed looks a mess here, but that's protecting all the plants underground. So that's got all the colocasias and the cannas, etc. there. And under there is a Brea edulis palm. And under there is a Brea armata palm. I've wrapped them up this year just a bit because it's been pretty cold at times. That's a butia that I've wrapped. And that's where the gunneras will pop up soon. Another trachycarpus there. And several more bamboos. Princeps hybrids around here. Got a few completely unprotected. That's a miscanthus that's dried off and be cut back in spring. And that'll grow back. So Ralph wanted to know about the Musa. So this is Musa Baju. Completely unprotected this year. Mainly because I ran out of time. And I want to see how these come back from the ground as well now they're established plants. And this is quite a thick one. So that's solid. That survived the -5. The thinner ones are okay as well at the moment. These smaller ones, that will probably fall over. Still hard at the moment, which is good. Now Cycad revoluta is just there. It's still green. Just got a bit of cloth over it, a bit of this meshing. And that's fine. That's hardy enough at the moment. And here, never shown this, is a little sabal. Can you see it? Just one leaf. Sown in 2011, so that's actually 6 years old. And just shows that sabals don't grow in my northern climate. It's just not hot enough. It needs summer heat above 25 at least for days and days to get some growth. And as you can see, this one and that one there have only grown 2 or 3 leaves in 6 years. Bamboos obviously are evergreen and fine. Mirianthus looks a bit unhappy. I might cut this back and it'll grow back in spring. This is wrapped up Trachycarpus. This is Oreophyllus, which is tenderish but doing okay here. That is a nice Butia dorata, completely unprotected and looking completely fine. This is my unusual extra large leaved Princeps hybrid. Got very large leaves for the size of plant. And if you look on the other side, completely white, gorgeous thing, unprotected as well. Here, I'll show you what's under here. That is the Dicksonia squarosa, which were actually completely unprotected until a week or so ago. Then I decided to put these rubber tyres around it. Eucalyptus. Yeah, they're massive now. These were just seeds 4 years ago. Seedlings. And that's the Triskea gigantea bamboo. That's a T-Rex, Tetrapanax Rex, which is about 5 foot tall, unprotected. They're proper harder here. never lost one. I've got a tiny one over here as well. And also, under all this leaf litter, I've got my Calidorias, completely green. Look, these are tropical looking perms, really nice things. There's Radicalis and Microspadix in here, a couple of each. Not really protected, but they seem to be doing just fine. And Eleanor wanted to know about the front garden, and as you can see there's a big Trachycarpus. It's doing fine in the corner. Tetrapanax, bamboos, dead ricinus plants, and the nice waggies. And that's it for the front. And here's the other greenhouse, which is completely open to the elements. The door doesn't close, there's panels falling out. But they've got some smaller palms in here that's in pots, princeps palms, Trithanax, aeoniums that are just about holding the leaves. So bits of odds and sods in there, and they'll be fine over winter as they are. And here's the waterfall with the Bleachium tilinensis ferns that are hardy and evergreen, and also right by the water the Sarracenia carnivorous plants that are fine as well. Because of water movement, the water's not frozen on this side, but it is frozen on this side. This is just to show how cold it is. There's ice. Quite thick ice actually in this wheelbarrow. So yeah, very cold day, but otherwise it's been a pretty mild January. With a low of -2, which is today, and also on the 4th or 5th of January. So it's been a pretty mild January compared to the southeast of the UK, which has seen -6, -7, -8 in the last week or so. So it's been much warmer up north for a change.